Hey guys, this is Nirpam from the Underwater Photography Guide and Bluewater Photo. I'm here today in the hot Pacific Northwest. It's 94 degrees today, and I just went diving at Sund Rock, which is an awesome local site which has tons of wolf eels, octopus, although not today, lots of rockfish. And I am with the new Ikelite Ecko Strobes. These are strobes to replace the Ikelite DS 51s. They're 50 watt second strobes. Really quite impressive actually. I'm really happy with the upgrade. They're pretty solid, but they're light underwater. So underwater they're pretty close to neutral buoyancy. They've got a cool, some cool updated features. So it does have RC TTL. I was shooting the Ecko Strobe with the Ikelite housing for the TG7 with an Olympus or OM System TG7, which is a really popular compact camera that a lot of people are using these days. And the RC TTL was working great. All my exposures were really accurate with this strobe, which was really cool. I also had this nice little Ikelite WD3 wide angle port on there. It's a air lens basically, or water lens. You just take it on and off underwater, you just put it right on and you get wider photos. Now it was great to be able to take wide photos because with the diffusers the strobe has a beam angle of 120 degrees, which I think is wider than the last strobes. Overall I felt like the beams really improved from the DS51s. I felt like I actually got some decent wide angle photos with this. Although 50 watt seconds is a little bit low power for wide angle photography, I'd probably use these mostly for macro. But here in the Northwest it's pretty dark, you don't need as much light, you don't need as much power, and I was taking some awesome wide angle photographs of wolf eels and rockfish with a 120 degree beam angle. Color temperature I believe is 5,000 degrees Kelvin, which is about sunlight. I thought the colors looked pretty accurate. It's not quite as warm as Ikelite's other strobes, but it's decently warm, and I thought the color overall was actually a bit of an improvement from the 51s. I felt like the 51s were a little bit warm for the green water that we have here, and these are a little bit more in line with what I'm looking for in a strobe, at least for cold water. This strobe is also compatible with TTL. If you don't have an Olympus camera, it's compatible with the new Ikelite transmitters for TTL for fiber optic and sync cords as well. For fiber optic, there's a Canon transmitter, and the Sony transmitter is coming out soon, and the Nikon transmitter will come out after that. For sync cords, you can use any of the sync cord TTL converters that Ikelite has. It's the most accurate TTL on the market. There are two different versions of the strobe. There's one for fiber optic and one for sync. Now I've got the new fiber optic, which is really nice because you don't need that Olympus TTL converter to go on top. The RC works without that. But if you want sync cords, you can use the sync cord version of the strobe. Just make sure that you're getting the right version at Bluewater Photo, or you could email us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com to find out what version you need. Now overall, when it comes to depth rating, this strobe is rated to 330 feet, which is plenty for most divers, and definitely more into the technical depths there. The design is pretty compact, solid. The one thing that I have to complain about is if you look at the back, you just don't want to, you want to make sure you don't turn the battery compartment instead of the control dial while you're diving. I actually did turn the battery compartment, didn't have any issues, but just make sure you're using the control dial when you're underwater, not the battery compartment. This does take 4 AA batteries. Finally, the recycle time of the new Ecko Strobe is 2 seconds. That is kind of long, but it's at full power, remember. And most of the time with this strobe especially, you're gonna be shooting macro. And if you're shooting less than full power, then it's gonna be a lot less. So the recycle time is really 0 to 2 seconds. I found that when I was shooting in the dark water here, where I didn't need much power, it was about a second, maybe 1.2 seconds per shot on average when I was shooting with it, which was plenty for the kind of shooting that I was doing. Overall, that's my full review of the Ikelite Ecko Strobes. Remember, there's a fiber optic and a sync cord version. You can get both at bluewaterphotostore.com. I'll drop links below for everything that you need for that. If you have any questions, especially about TTL, make sure you reach out to us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com or drop them in the comments below. We're happy to help you get set up with everything that you need. It was a great dive today, and I hope you have a great dive diving with the strobes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.